Broadcasting live from the heart of the continental United States and sailing the steel breeze of the World Wide Web. Welcome back. This is the Nexus. Good evening, everybody. Glad to have you here another Thursday night, and we are a bit late this evening, and I apologize for that happening tonight. Funky thing with Rumble Studio, it wasn't letting me, it was automatically kicking me out every time I activated the camera or activated my handy Samsung Go mic. It kicked me out of the room. It wouldn't let me in. I couldn't say anything. All the fervor, everything I wanted to say is kind of gone out by now, but we're going to keep trying to do this anyway. Welcome Thursday nights. We talk Torah and all things related, which is the world. So thank you for tuning in. Glad to have you here. James the Idol Smasher at gmail.com or whatever it is. Gmail.com is my email address. At the Idol Smasher, of course, buymeacoffee.com/the Idol Smasher. If you'd like us to get some spruce up the material. But right now, we're here in my shack. This is my radio shack. It's the little corner of the house that I get to tinker with radios and other goofy stuff. So thank you for tuning in. Glad to have you here. Coming out of Tisha B'Av, the Tish B'Av, the ninth of Av, the ninth of the month of Av, which is an interesting date for all the non-Jewish folks out there, like me. I'm not Jewish. I've never been Jewish. I do have some Jewish ancestry, and it goes through the father's line for most of it, and so I don't count as a Jew. I'm not Jewish, but but you know, I do keep the 7 laws, and so can you. Yes, you, my favorite viewer. Judaism is for the world. It's not just for Jews. Or as they would say in the 70s about orange juice, it's not just for Jews anymore. It really is a universal thing, and that's why we do what we do here. I'd like to present to you the brilliance, the goodness, and the usefulness of Torah. And I think that's one thing that separates the Torah and Judaism from every other religion on the planet is its practical application in daily life. You don't have to worry about some other thing down the road or this other world or this heavenly thing or the eternal damnation of fire. It's about now. It's about the living God and it's about the living world. And it's about practicality now. Okay. Tonight I want to talk about a few things. Actually, there are a lot of things I want to get to. That Mom Tommy, hey, I'm going to say a phrase here and close your ears if you're super religious and can't handle it. Damn Yankees. Damn Yankees. Damn Yankees. Now, I've got friends who are New Yorkers. I've visited New York, I think 3 times now. I've been there. Loved every minute. Loved the food. Loved Chinatown. I was a kid, but hey, when you're a kung fu nut. Damn Yankees. You voted a guy to be your mayor who ate a burrito with a knife and fork on a New York subway and eats rice with his fingers. Y'all are freaking nuts. I have no sympathy and I have no worry. If they were to, Dark Knight Returns, bomb all the bridges to New York and guarded the coastline, I swear to God, nobody would freaking notice. Nobody in the rest of the entire freaking continent would give 2 shits if you were buried under the ocean. Nobody. There's nothing you have there that we don't need out here or that isn't already here in the rest of the United States. I'm currently in the Sunflower State, not the Empire State. Enjoy your empire, you stupid Yankee mothers. No sympathy, no worry. And part of me kind of wants to see you napalmed. Part of me wants to see you fall. You are an arrogant bunch of morons. And for those of you in New York State, visited Schenectady and Albany not too long ago. Sorry, dudes. This is what you wanted. You asked for this. You ask for the stupidest mayor on the planet, but then you got what's her face, AOC, horse face. Yeah, pretty to look at till she opens her mouth and speaks. Good gravy. That woman needs to find a good man and make a lot of babies. That's it. That's it. That's it. Get her out of the spotlight. Get her out of that. It's bad for her. It's taking its toll on her. I can see, no matter how inspired she is. Y'all are nuts up there, and no sympathy, no worries. I want to see you go down. You're like Britain. You're like America's Britain. You never thought that the place that gave us English common law would fall like this. Fought off the Nazis, even though they shook hands with them earlier. We don't like to remember that part about, the white paper of 1939. The Brits don't like talking about that. Oh, you freedom loving folks. Arresting people for memes. You're screwed. You screwed Doctor Who. You screwed the pooch. The sun is set. And New York, you're next. And part of me is going to be happy to see y'all burn that city to the freaking ground. It's an eyesore. New Yorkers are considered by the rest of the 50 states to be the rudest people on the planet. It's a joke. How many New Yorkers does it take to screw in a light bulb? None of your damn business. That's how New Yorkers are. Nobody will miss you. You're gone. Your stupid city's gone. It was great in heyday, especially when you made movies about yourselves. Broadway, are you kidding me? That gay wide way? You don't think it hurts? But y'all wanted this. Y'all wanted to destroy it. Then destroy it be. Enjoy. Enjoy it. He wanted to invite. We're basically at war with a regime, not another country. That's how you get war. We're at war with a regime that you were willing to talk to. Your mayor? Willing to get, and then he wants to arrest Netanyahu? Really? Really? You rice with your finger eating jihadist commie scum. And that's what the best that New York can give the world, folks. That's the best it can do. Trump left while the getting was good. Needs to sell that. Out of hell with it. It's a loss. Screw New York. Screw Trump Tower. Sorry, Mr. President, but New York's done for. Baruch Hashem, you moved to Florida. I love the flagpole, by the way, Mr. President. That's pretty badass. So here's to that. Yeah, not exactly Torah related, but fuck Zoran Mandami or Mugi Maki or Poopy Fami or whatever the fuck his name is. Screw him. And screw New Yorkers for voting for him. Really. Y'all suck. Y'all are an embarrassment. You're like LA on steroids. God. Okay. Enough of my picking on those damn Yankees. I would never say such a thing before. I never really, never thought of it. The first time is when I realized that the Boston was the place where you could buy your slaves, even though it was illegal in the North. You can still buy your slaves in Boston and ship them down there to the South. Damn Yankees. Damn Yankees. And fuck the Empire. Fuck the Empire. I said that on a tour base. I said that openly. I'm so sorry. I am so here. I have cheers. After the little incident earlier when I thought I wouldn't be on. Nothing beats an 8-hour shift like a delicious cold kosher brew. All right. Well, enough about the New Yorkers. We're coming into the 10th day of the month. I guess we'll just go to it. We'll do some screen sharing, fun stuff here on Rumble Studio. Let me see if I can get everything cleared up on this end. Maybe we won't need to. There's a reason why this is considered the saddest day in Jewish history. Now, mind you, the Jewish calendar is solar lunar or lunar solar. It's solar by the 7 days. It's lunar by pretty much everything else. It's an interesting mix, and it's exquisitely perfect too. and wildly tuned into the movements of the heavens as to how we keep our calendar. It's similar to a leap year, a leap year in the common era calendar, but even better because it ensures that you don't have to fast on Torah holidays on Shabbat. Like, there's some great elements to it, but it wasn't understood by the common world. In fact, when the church decided, the Romans, when they decided to build the church, they had to go to or what Jews were left in Jerusalem and say, hey, tell us how to do this. We don't get your calendar. We need help here, okay? And the Jews are like, you're not going to burn us alive? Okay, let's talk. They didn't understand the Jewish calendar. They couldn't put the resurrection date on Passover because it didn't happen on the sun's calendar. It happened on a lunar-based monthly calendar. So no matter what calendar you're on, none of them are following the Jewish calendar when things would happen, save when the temple was destroyed, the first temple. Actually, both temples just happened to be burned down on the same day. The Battle of Betar was lost. The Jews expelled from England. Oh, yes, those lovely English. Thank God y'all couldn't screw up Benny Hill because you screwed up Doctor Who enough. I'm sure you're going to get to Sherlock Holmes and Robin Hood soon. So I can't wait to see Robin Hood and his merry men in the forest in Sherwood. Just like an Englishman would. Fuck England. You people are done. You people are done. You arrest each other for memes and you gave up your arms. Robin Hood spinning. You could power London on Robin Hood spinning in his grave right now. Jews banished from Spain happened on when? The 9th of Av. World War I. But I want to get back to one particular event. And that's when the spies came in with a bad report. There's a neat phrase in the Parsha, if you please, not this week's Parsha. This is earlier. If you please, send spies out to the land so that they can see what's there and report back. And everybody went out there, and I think there were 3 guys who came back and said, no problem, we got it made. They brought back this fruit, and the grapes are the size of small volleyballs. They're like this big. Grapes on a vine. That's how fruitful, the biblical commandment, the fruit was there. But most of them came back and were absolute and gave, it was Leshon Hara. It was evil speech. It was an evil report. We were but merely grasshoppers in the eyes of our giants that inhabited this land. They thought so lowly of themselves. They came back and gave such a bad report. The entire nation of Israel at that time, which was everybody post-Sinai, wept. They wept because they believed they had come to the end. In spite the miracles, the plagues, the Red Sea, the Sinai event, and everything since, and they still wept and cried like babies and mourned like a bunch of pansies, a bunch of pussies. And for their worry and their cry out to God, how could you have done this to us to bring us out here to die? What kind of God are you? God said it's going to be another 40 years till you and your descendants get to the promised land. In fact, you won't get to the promised land because I will not have anybody enter there that knew slavery. Because it was a slave mentality, man. Evil reporting. False reporting. Reporting that included the emotions of cowards as fact. And the Israelites ate it up. Ate it up. They ate it up. The whole nation mourned. And that's in America right now. That's where we're at. This Parsha is a great example, or this particular day, pardon, is a great macrocosm of America now. We are so obsessed with quick learning and what's the instant gratification? Um, we scroll and we scroll and we look and we look and we want to know who's winning the war now. Oh, it's been 8 hours. How are things now with the war? We keep looking at this screen or this monolith to teach us. And while there's great things in it, we lack patience. We lack a relaxed mind. We lack wisdom in our constant, I just got to know. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's going to be horrible. They have giants there. And oh my gosh, you don't know how bad it made us feel. And we were totally helpless victims. Victims. We were victims in our own eyes. We was slaves, y'all. How much TikTok you hear shit of that? Reparations, y'all. We're grasshoppers in our own eyes before the white man. Africans don't think like this. Jamaicans don't think like this. And you know how heartbroken so many are that come over here for a better life willingly of their own free will and who are more successful than even the Southeast Asians who dominated the 90s and 2000s? Are you kidding me? More successful in academia, more successful in business. Africans, black Africans. Do you think they stand with you, black people? You think they stand with your black narrative? About the white man, the guilty white liberal. Oh God, guilty white liberals. Don't you want to just kick them into the sea forever? The worst of the worst are guilty white liberals. Everything's a fascist, everything's racist, everything's bad for you. Call me a she, I'm a girl. Really? Really? They believe it. They believe it. I would dare say that the rest of the events that we can list, the temples, both temples being destroyed, the loss of war, the when Rome finally sacked the Holy of Holies, the expulsion from England, the expulsion from from Spain. Oh, it was a real pain for the world to watch them win the World Cup in America. Isn't that interesting? Germany declared war on Russia in World War One on the Tisha B'Av, on the 9th of Av. That's why Jews fast. That's why it's considered the saddest day in Judaism. Sadness, in the Jewish sense, is not good. The Eastern sense is a bit different. There is a grieving sense. Things are lost in translation. Sadness is giving up hope. But to grieve, that's a different story. But I really think while we remember these events on this day, and we remember the events we see the events in the world today on this date and after, there are great lessons and there's great wisdom in doing so. But I do not believe now is the time for grief. I really do not believe that. I mean, I'm not saying the 9th of Av is not a grieving time. I'm saying that now, in our present day situation, now is not the time to grieve. Now is the time for the warrior's dance. Now is the time. Now is the time for change so that those events don't happen again. They're not going to. There's going to come a time when they don't. I say, why not now? Why not us? Um, Now's the time. We don't need to. Most repeated phrase in all of Tanakh: "Be not afraid, do not fear." Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear can also make your real fear, like when your life is in danger, you're getting mugged or about to get mugged. These are things I know personally, not just getting in a ring and a bout to test your skill against another fighter. I'm talking about actually, having a knife put to your neck and stuff. Um, Makes your heart beat faster, makes your brain work quicker and calculate faster, and a great indicator that you should relax. Because that when there is fear, genuine fear, you are given every facility in human consciousness and body awareness to take care of yourself, to overcome that which brings you fear. Fearful reports. The Democrats, you're doomed only because there are more Republicans than you now. Republicans, you're doomed. Your party is splitting. More people now hate Trump than ever before. You should really rethink yourself, shouldn't you? Siding with Israel over Iran. Even if you don't like the idea of us being over there, fine. You're wimps. It's the one good thing we've done in 30 years with our military that works. We finally got to the center of the problem. We finally got to it. We finally got around to doing the right thing after almost 50 years. Finally. I don't like any of the other stuff. I don't like Afghanistan, Iraq. I like what we did in Libya under Obama and his husband. This time we need it. This time the world needs it. Merger. That's the other thing we're saying. We're merging our militaries. They're merging. They're cooperating, baby. And they're spending their money accordingly. You should be happy. But we must fear. See ourselves as grasshoppers in our own eyes. Our government's over. The big bad government's over. I'm not saying government's good. I'm not. I am still a hardcore, whiskey rebellion patriot to this flag and no other. But that's all overwhelming. The Jews have us all under control. They control everything. There's Jews everywhere. Oh my goodness! I stubbed my toe. Those Jews. The Jews! Oh my goodness, I swear. I used to be libertarian. I will never call myself that again. You want to talk about a bunch of Jew-hating screes who sound more like Stalin and Hitler than they do Jefferson or Benjamin Franklin, excuse me. Or for that matter, John Adams, the nice one. And Washington, the one with balls. The rest of them can suck it, in my opinion. Wig wearing, bunch of buckle shoed wearing, leader hosing, fucking tri hat bowing like your prissy bunch of mothers, two-faced, hypocritical, self-righteous. Tax the people more than the British did for tea, for us winning the war. Pay for your freedom, Americans. It's a tax now. Screw the founders. Screw them. Liberty over the founders. Liberty over their heads on our coin. Liberty over their stupid fucking monuments. That stupid fucking institution. That socialist junkyard we call Washington D.C. with all their marble, your giant freaking Abraham Lincoln on his throne. Fuck Abraham Lincoln. Authoritarian sack of crap. Couldn't free the slaves by buying them their freedom. No. Screw him and screw his stupid monument. Especially that phallus he has to stare at, the Washington phallus. You know, the phallus. You know what? There's one thing them dandies liked in their tri-corner hats and their white wigs. They did like a good phallus, didn't they? That Egyptian phallus. Sorry, liberty over all of it. The idea of liberty over all of it. And we have crystallized an American institution. American, not even the institute. The very idea of America itself has been crystallized and idolatrized as founders and the opinions we like of them. And that's it. Well, the founders didn't know that we could communicate worldwide in real time. They had no idea what quantum physics was. They have no idea what a quantum computer is. They never dreamed that we could have, a data center in orbit. They didn't even know what a data center was. World War II, for freak's sakes. You libertarians have failed to understand we didn't stop fighting the war. There was no end to that war. It's still going on. In fact, all wars have been going on since Genesis 14, but whatever. Don't think that God's not playing two sides of it too. Look. Fayette Kanan, it's we're in Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 3, starts with verse 23. Through chapter 7, verse 11. A wonderful read. And as much joy as I want to bring, sometimes a warrior has to fight. The United States is at war with a worthy foe. I do not think the Chinese are a worthy foe. I do not think the Russians are a worthy foe. I do think jihadists, the Iranian, apologies, you should be Persia. It's a lot easier to remember. The Iranian regime and all that stand with them, that's a worthy foe. You can always, and if you don't like what Israel's doing or that we're involved with them, I'll just say this about the Israelis right now. You can always judge a man by the quality of his enemies. You can always judge a nation by the quality of its enemies. We've got a quite long little Haftorah here, so we're going to get into it. We're in Isaiah chapter 40. Where are my readers? I need my eyeballs. I don't even know if I'm sharing this. I'm not sharing any of this, am I? Oh my goodness. If it's not one technical thing, it's another. They have a new streamlined system to use on this facility in Rumble Studio, but haven't gotten there yet. It was going to take a lot more setup time to get the stream on the air and get out of here than it would actually. Okay, yeah, now we got the psychedelic infinity screen going. Ooh, the infinity screen. That's kind of fun to play with, but probably not entertaining for you, nor is it educational. Okay. Isaiah chapter 40. Here we go. L'chaim. Prost Solange. Really? Hashem put a fly in my beer. I don't know if you can see it. There's a fly in my beer. Perfectly good Miller High Life. Hashem puts a fly in it as I'm dry-throated. Console, console my people, says your God. Speak to the heart of Jerusalem and call to her, for she has become full from her host. From her iniquity has been appeased, for she has taken from the hand of the Lord double for all her sins. A voice calls, in the desert, clear the way of the Lord. Straighten out the wilderness, a highway for our God. Every valley shall be raised, every mountain and hill shall be lowered, and the crooked terrain shall become a plain, and the close mountains a champaign. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh together shall see that the mouth of the Lord spoke. A voice calls, call, and it says, what shall I call? All flesh is grass, and all its kindness is like the blossom of the field. The grass shall dry out, the blossom shall wilt, for a wind from the Lord has blown upon it. Behold, the people is grass. The grass shall dry out, the blossom shall wilt, but the word of our God shall last forever. Upon a lofty mountain ascend, O herald of Zion. I said the word. O herald of Zion, raise your voice with strength. O herald of Jerusalem, raise your voice, fear not. Say to the cities of Judah, behold your God. Behold, the Lord God shall come with a strong hand, and his arm rules for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his recompense is before him. Like a shepherd who tends his flock, with his arm he gathers the lambs, and in his bosom he carries them, the nursing ones he leads. Who measured water with his gite, and measured the heavens with his span, and measured by thirds the dust of the earth, and weighted the mountains with a scale and hills with a balance. Who made it the Spirit of the Lord, and his advisor who informs him? With whom did he take counsel to give him to understand, and to teach him the way of justice, and teach him knowledge? And the way of understanding did he let him know. Behold, the nations are like a drop from a bucket, and like dust on a balance they are counted. Behold, the islands are like fine dust that blows away. And the Lebanon, there is not enough to burn, and its beasts there is not enough to burn for burnt offerings. All the nations are naught before him. As things of naught and vanity are they regarded by him. And to whom do you compare God? And what likeness do you arrange for him? The graven image, the craftsman has melted, and the smith plates it with gold, and chains of silver he attaches. He who is accustomed to select chooses a tree that does not rot. He seeks for himself a skilled craftsman to prepare a graven image which will not move. Remember early on, I say that Judaism is about the living God. Now, your living God. Not a dead God, not a future God. Now. Movement is an aspect of time. A fourth dimensional image will move. Do you not know? Have you not heard? Has it not been told to you from the beginning? Do you not understand the foundations of the earth? It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and whose inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heaven like a curtain, and he spread them out like a tent to dwell. For one thing, okay, circle of the earth. Well, the earth must be flat in the Bible. That's what people say. It's flat because it's circles, two-dimensional. Yeah, the equator is a circle. Got to the highest mountain, got to see the promised land. Okay, see. Moses, I got to ascend to a mountain to see where the Israelites were going, but could not enter himself. For even he knew slavery, but that wasn't the reason why. Whose inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heaven and the earth. See, to be grasshoppers in the eyes of God is one thing. To be grasshoppers in the eyes of other men, that's another. Who brings princes to naught? Judges of the land he made like a thing of naught. Judges in America. They're like Texas judges now. They're all like Texas. Maybe they always were like Texas judges, but there's very little of that here. And you're going to have to wrestle with the state to come anywhere close to it. Take it from somebody who had to fight. Even as though they were not planted, even as though they were not sown, even as though their trunk was not rooted in the earth. And also he blew on them, and they dried up, and a tempest shall carry them away like straw. Now to whom will you compare me that I should be equal, says the Holy One. Lift up your eyes on high and see. Who create these, who takes out their host by number, all of them he calls by name, because of his great might, because he is strong in power. No one is missing. That shall end this week's portion. Be nice to every month to get a new Porsche. Would that be awesome? No, not really. It's a lot of insurance to pay. Thank you for tuning in tonight to the Nexus. For those of you who made it in here late, we'll be back here, God willing, 8 p.m. Thursday Central, right here from the Radio Shack in the Sunflower State. To you and yours, peace and prosperity. To Israel, absolute victory. Shabbat shalom, y'all. Be well.